How's it going, you guys? My name is William and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing on what you should do when your first $1,000 saved up. But this isn't going to be a typical video of invest in a Roth IRA and open up a Roth IRA account, start a 401k, invest in the stock market, invest in crypto. No, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be kind of getting you to think critically about where you are in life and what your goals are. Because there's lots of different things that you can do and you already do with your money. But this is mainly for the people that aren't sure where to put their money and how to make their money work for them. Like I said before, you could do lots of different things with money. You could invest in yourself, invest in the stock market, travel, buy fast food. Now, money is everything in our lives, right? Money is everywhere. So my analysis on money is a particular situation that applies to pretty much everybody, right? So you go to work, you clock in 9 o'clock, you work your 8 hours, 9 hours, whatever, and then you clock out. And you get paid for that time. You don't necessarily get paid any more or less. You show up to work, you leave, you earn your paycheck. You do this for 2 weeks, and then a week later you get your paycheck, right? And at least here in California, if you work a minimum wage job, that would be about $14 per hour. And the reason why I'm talking about your job and all this is because now you have just traded your time. Typically a work week is only 40 hours, so if you worked 2 weeks, that'd be 80 hours. You've just traded 80 hours of your life for a physical monetary value of money. If you think of your investments as trading your time or trading your money for something else in return, then that's a good start. Because in my eyes, it's not exactly, but money and time is kind of a 1-to-1 ratio. You spend 1 hour, you earn this much money. It's not exactly like I said, because some people make more, some people make less, some people do more and still make less. So it's not exactly a 1-to-1 ratio, but if you think of it like that, you could kind of see where I'm going, right? So you either trade your money or trade your time for something in return. That's kind of what we do every single day. We go out to fast food. We spend a little money to save some time. We buy a brand new car and spend a little bit of money to save a lot of time in the future and for repairs. Spend a lot of money on a house so that in the future you can pocket some of that time and do those things that you wanted to do before, like travel, go to the store, or whatever it is that you want to do. This isn't your typical invest here, invest there, do this, do that. This is more of an analysis, and I wanted to kind of get you guys to think about what you guys are doing in your own lives and what your own goals are. Because I can't answer that question for you. I can't answer the question of what do you do with that $1,000. I could definitely try to guide you, and that's what these videos are for, but these aren't financial advice. Everybody's situation is different. Let's take the car situation for a moment. So say you've chosen life to not have a car, you walk everywhere, you bike everywhere, you ride the bus, right? So you've pocketed a lot of that money, and now to do your normal day-to-day tasks, you're spending a lot of time to do those tasks. In order to go grocery shopping, now you have to walk to the bus, then wait for the bus to show up, spend a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit of money for the bus fare, then you indirectly get to your destination, then you can grocery shop, but then you can only grocery shop so much because you can't carry it all back with you. Then you go back to the bus stop, wait for it, it shows up, then you indirectly get back to your bus stop, get off, and now you're home. You just spent maybe if you don't have a car, it takes you 2 hours to do that, depending on where you live, obviously. If the grocery store is right around the corner, it's gonna take you less time, obviously. But let's just say Instead of not having a car, you chose to buy a used car. You paid a little bit of money, you know, 1 to 5, 6 grand on a used car, but now you've saved a ton of that time. Now instead of to go grocery shopping for 3 hours or 2 hours, all you have to do is walk to your car, spend a little money on gas, get to your destination in, you know, 15 minutes, go grocery shopping for a whole 2 weeks or maybe even a month if you're able to do that, and then you load up your car and then spend a little bit more money in gas to come home. And now you only had to do that, you know, twice a week, or I mean once every 2 weeks, or once every month, or twice every month. I don't know what it is. But if you had to do that every 4 days on a bus stop, you're spending a ton of time. 4 days a week, sorry, or 4 days every 2 weeks, or whatever. Spending a ton of time just to do the same thing that we just did in our used vehicle. Now there are added costs, like I said, that you do have to purchase the vehicle, you do have to maintain the vehicle, you do have to service the vehicle, you do have to buy gas for the vehicle. But you see what I mean by time equals money in a 1-to-1 ratio, kind of? Instead of spending money to go grocery shopping without a car, you spent some of your time, or quite a lot of your time, to go grocery shopping for the same things. And in the second scenario, you spent a lot of money, but now you saved a lot of that time it took you without a vehicle to go grocery shopping. Now you saved a ton of that time to do whatever. You know, maybe you want to meal prep now because you have all of this extra time to meal prep. You know, and on your 1 day off, it doesn't take you 8 hours to go to the grocery store, ride the bus, come home, come back, meal prep for only 3 days because that's all you could carry with you, and then after 3 days from then, you had to do it again. Alright, you're saving a ton of time by just purchasing that vehicle. Same with renting out an apartment. You spend quite a bit of money on renting an apartment, but you save a ton of time on repairs because the repairs aren't your problem. You don't have to call the people, the plumber, the electrician, or whoever to come out and fix things. You just call your property manager and then they deal with that. Right? So you spend, you know, a little bit of time, kind of like, a little bit of money, kind of like in the no car situation. You pay a little bit of money for the bus fare to do the same thing. But in the bus fare scenario, you're spending a lot of time. In this scenario, we're spending, you know, a fair amount of money, but we're gaining a lot of that back in time without having to deal with the maintenance repairs. But if you were to, say, buy a house, spent more money, and now you also have to spend some more time to fix those repairs and deal with those repairs yourself. Now, like I said before, money doesn't equal time for a 1-to-1 ratio. Some investments are riskier, some investments are smarter, some investments are more reasonable. It just depends on what it is that you want with your life. We can go back to the used car situation. If you buy a brand new $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 car, you're spending a lot of money up front. But again, now you don't have to worry about the repairs because you just call the dealership you bought it from and say, hey, my car's under warranty, fix it. Now you don't have to spend any more money. Just spend a little bit of time, obviously, to maintain it, but not as much as a used vehicle. Now, I'm not saying don't rent or buy a brand new car because everybody's life is different and everybody's scenario is different. I'm just giving you examples of how time equals money. Why do I always get killed? You either spend a lot of time or you spend a lot of money, or both, and hopefully in return you earn something back, either time or money. In the form of the house, you did spend a lot of money and you are spending a lot of time maintaining the house, but in the future, you know, 30, 40 years from then, you have the house paid off, and now from when your house is paid off until whenever, you don't have a mortgage, a high monthly mortgage at least, you know, 2-3 grand mortgage. Whereas if I was 60 and I was still renting, I still have the same expense of renting that everybody else has. Everybody else who's, you know, just barely turning 18 or just barely moving out, I still have the same expenses, but now I have less time to work and less ability to work. And sure, you may get Social Security and whatnot, but you have less tools to your advantage to be able to make up that $1,000 rent or however much your rent is. Like I said, you kind of makes up for it because you get Social Security, but you know, that's betting on the fact that Social Security is going to stick around and stay around for your lifetime at least. You know, maybe you're already 50 and you're like, that's kind of a safe bet, but maybe you're my age, you know, 22, 25, that area, and you're not willing to take that risk. So if you just analyze the things that you do and you want to do and the goals you have, I think you will find your answer. If one of your goals is to be able to buy that house and retire early, then that answer for that would be either save a lot of money for a house for down payment or find a better paying job so that you can afford that house, or, you know, save money, even more money without finding a job by house hacking, you know, renting out your room with a roommate or two roommates or whatever. But you just have to, in my opinion, look at money as time equals money. There are other analogies that you could give to money. Say you're kind of the person who doesn't really care about the future and you just want to travel. Maybe for that type of person, money equals fulfillment. Maybe you are 100% confident that you won't make it to retirement age for whatever reason. Well then, money equals fulfillment for you. You want to go out and travel and do all those things that you can so that you do them and you don't run out of time, because like I said, money, while money does kind of equal time, it can never equal time because time has a limit. Money doesn't necessarily have a limit. If you have a goal, you should have a bigger goal for your goal. And if you have those two goals, then you should have a bigger goal for those three goals, right? So let's say right now, my first goal is to save money so I could buy a house, right? So what do I do for those steps? I'm either working to try to get a promotion, finding a better job, saving a lot of the money that I do have, house hacking, and whatnot. Okay, now I have enough, I've bought the house. Now the bigger goal would be to have enough to live peacefully and reasonably when I'm at that retirement age. That would either mean make a little bit more money to invest in a 401k, or invest in stock market so I can live off dividends, or invest in cryptos because maybe one of them will boom, or, you know, then you take a little bit more risky things. And then the bigger goal is, you know, to do the things that I want to do and have the time to do those. Like I said, those are my goals. I can't speak for your own goals, but if you kind of have the one goal, the bigger goal, and the bigger goal obviously is what you're working towards, but if you break it down just little by little, you can analyze what you're doing and what you should be investing in. And for me, at least, if you have the mindset of time equals money, or if you can look at money that way, I think it'll be a little bit easier for you to decide on what you should do and how to do it. Let me know, you know, in the comments below what you think of this concept, if it's even useful, or if you think it's kind of not useful at all. But let me know so that I could make that, you know, standard video of what you should do with your $1,000. But I didn't want to do that because I can't analyze everybody's situation. Everybody's situation is different. You know, maybe you do have that $1,000, but maybe it took you a whole year to save that $1,000. I wouldn't tell you to do the same thing as it would somebody else who took only a week to save that $1,000, right? Everybody's situation is different, so there is no one way to do things. But if you still do maybe want that video of where to invest your money kind of specifically, I definitely will make that. But just let me know down in the comments below. But for now, if you guys did enjoy, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
These coffin for.